And good evening. Sure the color codes are right? Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Crocker Field. Luke Connery alongside Dave Fens bringing you high school football action tonight as the Fitchburg High School Red Raiders, with their perfect record of 8-0, take on their nemesis of the 90s, the North Middlesex High School Patriots, who come into tonight's game with a record of 5-2-1. And Dave, we get back on the air after being away for a month, but Fitchburg has done something this year that they didn't do last year. They won 4 in a row on the road.
Yeah, that's last year, of course, we made a big deal about it, that they did not win a single game on the road last year, and that was going to be the test. And as you say, Luke, they went 4-0 over this past month, including a very exciting win down in Brockton. I know Brockton had, at the time, I think were 2-3 or 1-2 or something like that. Not the big Brockton team of old, but anytime you go down there and come home with a W, that you got to be pretty proud of your program.
Yeah, and I don't think Brockton has lost since they were beaten by Fitchburg High School in a down to the wire field goal by Zach Seacard to eke out that 17-16 win. It was an exciting game, and there's Doug Grutchfield's entertainment, who we saw here during the Shrewsbury game. They're back for a return engagement.
I've shown this tape to probably about 20 people. They're just amazed at this dog. Well, that's what he did last time too. He missed the first one. Anyway, it is homecoming here tonight, and I just wish they'd do homecoming a little earlier in the season, because it does tend to get a little bit cold this time of year. So we have these extended half times. But we're here for football tonight. It should be a good one. It always is, between the Patriots and, of course, the Red Raiders of Fitchburg High School.
We have one injury we should report, and that's that David Masciarelli, the fine senior captain quarterback of the Red Raiders, will not be playing tonight. He suffered a hip pointer in the game last week against Wachusett, and his prognosis is day-to-day. So Jason Toomley will step in, as he has done most notably Thanksgiving Day last year and a couple times in late ball games this year. So hopefully Jason will carry the offense and keep Fitchburg High's record unblemished.
Well, of course, Jason got thrown into his first varsity ball last Thanksgiving when Dave Masciarelli went down quite early in that Leominster game. And this year he's had some opportunities to get into the games late, and has gotten some game experience. So we're happy that at least he's got some experience behind him coming into tonight's game.
I don't know if you noticed, Dave, but the light is on the steeple.
I did.
And I figured that it has to have something to do with daylight savings.
I thought about that, but or maybe they hurt us.
Oh, well, that's what we hope, but I think it's daylight savings. I noticed when I came over here this afternoon at 5:30, it was already on. So we're happy to see it. It adds to the ambiance here at Crocker Field. And we're just about ready to get underway here, as the pregame entertainment is just finishing up. And the cheerleaders and bands are prepared to greet their teams. And we're just about ready to get underway with high school football here from Crocker Field.
And one thing we might add, of course, is the fact that we were sort of anticipating, looking forward to a Thanksgiving Day game where both Fitchburg and Leominster would go in undefeated. That, of course, is not going to happen, because Leominster did lose down to or rather at home against Brockton a week ago. So there will be no two undefeated teams vying here at Crocker Field on Turkey Day. And on the one hand, that's too bad, but on the other hand, it lets you off the hook.
It does. It does let me off the hook. They've taken all the disparaging things I've said about Leominster off of their bulletin board in their locker room. One thing about tonight's game, though, if Fitchburg wins tonight, that takes North Middlesex out of the picture because that would be their third loss with a tie. Fitchburg then could only lose 2 games. Westboro next week, which is going to be a tough one, and then Leominster. So this is a big game for Fitchburg High. It does give them a little breathing room because with the new setup in Super Bowl pairings, the first and second teams in each division get to go to the Super Bowl. So Leominster very much alive. North Middlesex a little bit alive, a loss tonight and out, and Fitchburg High, of course, in the driver's seat with a perfect 8-0 record. Fitchburg High is back on the field. North Middlesex is also on the field. Fred Sullivan is giving the starting lineups, and Dave, we're going to hand it off to our underwriters, or what's the program here?
Well, that's a good question. We haven't heard, but as always, yes, we are ready to let everybody out there know how these games are made possible.
FATV Sports presents Fitchburg Red Raider football. Brought to you by the volunteers of your community television stations. And major funding from Workers Credit Union. There's no bank like us. And Cisco Systems, empowering the internet generation. And by underwriting support from the Byrne Insurance Agency, 150 Main Street, where all your insurance needs are met, auto, home, and business. Byrne Insurance, fulfilling promises made. And by the Masciarelli Family Funeral Homes, honoring the lives of local families for generations. And by Mr. G's Party Center Incorporated in the Twin City Mall, proud to be supporting schoolboy football. And by Sky Cycle, 402 Electric Avenue in Lunenburg, Suzuki, Kawasaki, and Yamaha Sales and Service. And by Slattery's Restaurant and Bar, 106 Lunenburg Street, now featuring live entertainment with the best of blues and jazz. And a special thank you to Local 3128 of the Fitchburg Permanent Firefighters Association.
Okay, we're back out here at Crocker Field for tonight's high school action between the Patriots of North Middlesex and the host Fitchburg High School Red Raiders. Just about getting ready for the coin toss as both teams line up at midfield. Fitchburg, as we said, coming in here with a perfect 8-0 record. North Middlesex at 5-2-3, but has quite frankly been the nemesis of Fitchburg High School in the 90s, and they've had some classic battles not only during the regular season but also in Super Bowls. And we'll see what happens tonight. North Middlesex comes off a disappointing loss last week to Marlboro High School. I believe it was 8-6. And of course, Fitchburg comes off a big win over, or a win over Wachusett, as the Fitchburg High School captains and the North Middlesex captains meet at midfield.
Tiebreaker is in effect, the league game.
The tiebreaker is in effect, as it is a league game. So if we need a tiebreaker, there'll be one. Jeremy Saucier, B.J. Keenan, Keith Levitt, and David Masciarelli in civilian clothes for the Red Raiders, awaiting the coin toss from the referee as he doles out his instructions. we all settled in? Have you got?
For now,
you
having
hear
some
me?
audio problems here, but well, yeah, we see the instructions, but we don't have audio out there. So
Looks like Fitchburg, they're talking to him. They deferred once again.
what a surprise! Now, we were both at the Oakmont game, and there was a little gamesmanship there.
Yeah.
Defer, and no, I defer to you. No, I defer to you. Well, we're just about ready to go.
Good to be back at Crocker Field. It's a beautiful night for high school
forgot
football.
about the game.
I'd say it's in about the middle 40s. Not much of a wind. There was quite a bit of wind when I first came here this evening, but it's kind of.
Well, excuse me, I didn't mean to.
Go ahead.
I'll tell you exactly. When I left my house, which is right across the river here, it was 40.6 degrees.
There you go. Our national anthem. Okay, we're just about ready for high school football action here. Fitchburg High School Red Raiders will be kicking off to the Patriots of North Middlesex as a nice crowd traveled over from the Townsend-Pepperell area. A good crowd here for the Red Raiders, and we're looking forward to a great game tonight. And it's homecoming for the Red Raiders, and as Dave mentioned earlier, you'd like to see it a little earlier in the year, so you know that be a little bit more enjoyable. And there's the court, the homecoming court. Katie LeBlanc and Jim Laxo are the king and queen of homecoming, both seniors. There's one of the kings right there. Okay, Zach Seacard is teeing the ball up for the Red Raiders as he'll kick off to North Middlesex. And to bring you first period action live here from Crocker Field is the Dean of High School Football Broadcasting here in the North County, Dave Svens.
All right, Luke, thank you very much. Very nice night here. I don't know if we'll be saying that towards the end of the game when things might cool off a bit, but about 40 degrees here at game time, a breeze to the back of the Raiders. And we're underway as Seacard sends a line drive right down the middle, picked up on about the 20-yard line, at the 25, 30, and out to the 35-yard line. Maybe the 36. It'll be 1st and 10 for North Middlesex Patriots.
As I said, North Middlesex coming off a very disappointing loss last week to Marlboro. It'll be very interesting to see if they show up for this game. This team is capable of beating a lot of other teams in Massachusetts, and let's see what they brought with them tonight.
Andy Jastrab is the quarterback for North Middlesex. First offensive play, and right up the middle, going for about 5 yards, is Jastrab, the quarterback, on the keeper.
A little bit of a fumble on the exchange between the center and Jastrab, and Fitchburg should have had him back in the backfield for a loss, but he picked it up, and usually, as it always happens on a busted play, he picked up close to 7 yards.
We'll call it 6, second down and 4, short 4. And the hand right up into the center of the line, and the keeper again, and a first down.
Well, Jastrab is their offense, and he's a senior, and he's been around, very quick, and as we can see, the first 2 plays picked up the first down.
I'll tell you one thing, the numbers on the jerseys are not as large as I would like to see them.
Especially at your age.
Yes, you're exactly right. First and 10, 48-yard line. Handoff into the center of the line. And Bartleson carries.
Keith Levitt, Frank McDonald in on that stop for the Raiders.
At the rate of 49.
And of course, we got our mail today, and we must mention that Frank McDonald, number 20 for the Red Raiders, is the grandson of Fred Larson, one a good friend of both of us.
That is scary.
Yeah, grandson.
Second down, 6, handoff, and could be a loose football, but I guess not, just a stop at the line of scrimmage. And that was Janot again. Matt Janot.
What number is that, Dave? Oh, yeah, I see,
32.
32, yeah. And he met Mr. Levitt on that play, as Keith Levitt made a great defensive play, and it's a long third down play now for the Patriots.
And let's see if Jastrab goes to the air. Ball is on the Fitchburg 47.5. Pitch. And Janot coming wide left, and he's not going to get the first down as he's collared out of bounds just inside the 45-yard line.
Nice play by number 32, Saul Seacard, to cut off that corner. They got pretty close to the first down, but North Middlesex is going to have to kick away here. So they get a first down on their first series, but Fitchburg holds, and North Middlesex will have to kick.
And Frank McDonald is the deep man, and now a timeout being called by North Middlesex. So maybe they're going to try it on 4th. I don't think you'd call a timeout if you're going to kick it.
Well, they may rethink this. I mean, they want to establish themselves. Of course, the downside is you're giving up field position. Fitchburg would love to have it at the 42 or 43-yard line, and North Middlesex could establish some control here, and it looks like they have reconsidered, as Jastrab is going to come back out, and I think they're going to go for it now.
And I think, well, I think that's a pretty good decision, actually. We'll find out in a minute. 4th down, 2 yards to go for North Middlesex. Handoff goes to Janot. He's close. And it's going to be where they place it.
That's right. It's going to all depend on the spot. And from where I see the spot, I got to say he didn't make it.
I don't think so. I don't think he made it. They're going to bring the chains in.
Ref's timeout, measurement.
We got kind of a lousy angle on it from here, just a little bit cockeyed, but the Fitchburg High coaching staff pointed in their way.
He didn't make it. I'll tell you this right now. He did not make it.
Okay.
Because it's right on the 42-yard line, and the chains were on about the 41.5.
No, he didn't. There you saw it, about 10 inches. Big play for the Fitchburg High School defense, and Jason Toomley, the sophomore quarterback, will come out and try to take this Fitchburg offense
number 40,
Down the
Buster
field.
LeBlanc, and Andy LeBlanc. Wide receivers, Snow and Heckle, number 7 and 23.
All right, the Raiders out of the huddle. Their first offensive play after stopping North Middlesex on downs. And their first series, and straight ahead goes Toomley. What is this, quarterback keeper night? Brings it up over the 40, well, just shy of the 45-yard line.
I don't know if they're looking at blocking schemes just, to start off football games. Fitchburg High does that quite a bit. David Masciarelli is, runs that quarterback sneak 2 or 3 times a quarter. So that's nothing new for Fitchburg.
Second down and about 7.5. Toomley pitches, and it goes out of, no, it doesn't go out of bounds, and it's recovered in the backfield by LeBlanc. That's Andy LeBlanc. And it'll be a big loss for the Raiders, bringing it back inside the 40 to about the 37.
15.
Well, if they could have hooked up, it looked like there was a little bit of room for Andy LeBlanc, but they got mixed up on the option pitch and put him back about almost about a 10-yard loss, really.
So it'll be a third down and about 15 for the Raiders. And it goes to Andy. Andy gets a couple out to about the 39-yard line, but that's it, and it'll be a fourth down, and the Raiders will have to kick.
Well, 3 and out for the Raiders, or 4 and out if you want to count the punt, as the North Middlesex defense holds the high-powered Fitchburg High running game, and Fitchburg's going to have to punt.
It's the snap. The kick is away. Matt Kruchak is down there, but it never gets to him, and it's going to be blown dead in the vicinity of the 35-yard line. So it'll be 1st and 10 for the Patriots, and they get it in pretty good field position, and they'll be taking their second offensive series of the ball game.
6 minutes and 3 seconds remain, as you can see the top of the scoreboard there, as a couple of cold students getting their picture taken down there.
The ball is just over the 35-yard line. And
there was a flag down, now they're waving it off. If I can read his lips, I think they initially called too many men on the field, but they waved it off, so North Middlesex will take over 1st and 10 at their own 35.5-yard line.
Andy Jastrab is the quarterback for the Patriots. And we're ready to go. Not in motion to the left. Jastrab still has it, and he's nailed for a slight loss back to the 35-yard line.
And that was Frank McDonald. I want to tell you, his grandfather wasn't that fast. That was a great play by McDonald.
Because I think
go ahead, I'm sorry.
I think I mentioned the Larson family lived upstairs from us on Bond Street from back in the 60s.
Well, I worked with Fred at New England Telephone.
Fred's sister Margaret graduated with me, Fitchburg High.
Wow.
And there's, again, another great defensive play by the Raiders. Gain of about 1, and it'll bring up a 3rd down and 9.
McDonald in there again with some help from Josh Cordio, number 56. So the Fitchburg High defense is showing some strength here, as North Middlesex can't do much with them. We're under 5 minutes to go here in the first period. No score.
All right, 3rd down, and it's just about 3rd and 10. And Jasper hands off, and getting maybe 3 yards is Jason Bartleson. He's a sophomore, and it'll be 3 and out for the Patriots. So a very defensive contest here in the early going, with 4:29 to go here in the first quarter of play.
Well, a good set of good series for the Fitchburg High defense, and they're going to force the Patriots to punt here. They will not go for this one, and Frank McDonald is back deep for the Raiders.
Kai Koriak is the kicker. McDonald back deep, line drive, comes down on the 37-yard line, and it's going to be blown dead on about the 31. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Raiders with just under 4 minutes to go here in the opening quarter. No score from Crocker Field. Dave Svens along with Luke Connery and the entire FATV crew. There's a fan trying to keep warm with the hot chocolate.
We're going to be back here now for the rest of the season. Next Friday night, Westboro comes into town. Billy Walsh, the AD at Westboro High, brings that team to town. And then, of course, the big one on Thanksgiving Day against Leominster.
All right, handoff goes to LeBlanc, and not much there. Dustin might have gotten back to the line of scrimmage, and that's about it.
Defense led by number 82, Joe Gaines.
Well, this is Fitchburg's 9th game, and their defense, their offense has not been stopped like this in any previous game. Even in that Brockton game, they jumped out to a 14-0 lead as they just marched down the field a couple of times. But North Middlesex playing great defense here in the first period.
2nd down, and we'll call it a long 9. And it goes to LeBlanc again. Dustin gets nowhere again. 3rd down and long for the Raiders. Thus far, the Raiders looking a little flat offensively.
This Jason Toomley, number 16. He's the quarterback, only a sophomore. Dave Masciarelli out with a hip pointer. He's on a day-to-day situation. Hopefully he'll be back next week against Westboro.
Got Tom Snow wide to the left. Toomley to throw. It is complete off on the left, and there's a loose football. And was it a catch and a fumble or an incompleted pass?
I think it's a catch, a fumble, and a recovery, and it's going to be 4th down and about a yard.
So the pass was complete to Snow, but he lost it and was able to recover. But it, as Luke says, it brings up a 4th down and less than a yard. And looks like they're going to go for it.
Here's a vote of confidence for the Fitchburg High defense as Ray Kazenza is going to go for it here. 4th and a good 1 yard.
And straight ahead goes Toomley, and it looks like he's got it.
He's got it.
It is a 1st down. So a minor gamble there by the Raiders pays off. And they keep the drive alive. Still in Patriot territory on the 42-yard line.
Well, both coaches have gambled now. One has won and one has lost. So Fitchburg High continues. They have a life. 1st and 10.
And the handoff goes to Dustin, who brings it out to about the 45. Pickup of 3.5, 4 yards. 3 yards. 2nd down and 7.
Good pickup by Dustin LeBlanc.
It's nice to see we have a nice backdrop here now.
Yeah, they get a shot of that. Nice Fitchburg High School Red Raider backdrop, insulation.
Used to look like we were in a cage. And probably most people thought that was fine. 2nd down, 7. And this time it goes to Andy. And Andy LeBlanc picks up about 3.
Trying to spread that defense out a little bit. They've been running up the middle and not really with much success, and they try to go a little bit outside, and they've got a little bit of success now. It's going to bring up 3rd and about 4 as they're trying to get into Patriot territory to pick up that 1st down. Got to figure if they're in 2-down territory again. I don't know.
Depends on what they get on this one.
Continue to gamble here.
Couple of guys split to the right. Pitch. Andy Gets some running room. He is very close to a first down. It appears he may be just shy.
He's close to a first down.
Just got a, looks like about a yard shy, Dave.
Yep.
Another timeout at the end of the first period.
Absolutely. So the first quarter has elapsed here at Crocker Field, and we have no score as the Red Raiders and the Patriots of North Middlesex battling defensively here. As Luke mentioned, we're here for the rest of the season. 2 more games after tonight. Next Friday night, Westboro comes to town, and then, of course, Thanksgiving morning, right here at Crocker Field. This is the 115th, 14th or 15th.
Now, I've got my information is they started in 1894.
Right, but in the early years, they played a couple of times a year.
That's right, and there was a couple of times when they didn't play at all.
Well, I think that, from what I understand, there was only one. As a matter of fact,
one?
1923, I believe. And matter of fact, I was talking about that on the air with Mr. Clark, good friend Dave Clark at WEIM, because there had been a little article in the Telegram about the longest Central Mass uninterrupted rivalry, and it was Worcester North and South. And that's when that was the first, there's the famous steeple.
Yeah.
That's when I found out that they did not play in 1923. And I asked who else, Fred Sullivan. And he said the previous year there had been a brawl in a basketball game between Fitchburg and Leominster. And I guess it was so bad that they decided we're not going to play the football game.
Oh, no kidding. Didn't know that one.
4th and 1 for the Raiders, just over midfield.
Too bad. All right, period number 2 about to get underway, and here to bring that to you is my good friend Luke Connery.
Thanks a lot, Dave Svens. Fitchburg in a big 4th and 1 situation here, just inside Patriot territory. Toomley calling signals, hands it to Andy LeBlanc, off right tackle, gets across the 45-yard line up to about the 46, picks up the first down and more.
Down by number 24.
Yeah, he almost broke that one.
One tackle away from taking that considerably further down the field, but he's tripped up, and Fitchburg's got a first down in North Middlesex territory at the Patriot 46-yard line. Dustin LeBlanc behind Jason Toomley. Andy LeBlanc behind Dustin. Tommy Snow wide to the left. This is Andy LeBlanc again off tackle. Oh no, good fake. Pass complete to Dustin LeBlanc, and there's a flag on the play, and I think it'll be a face mask. Oh no.
Dustin LeBlanc, but there is a flag.
They're going to call it against Fitchburg High.
Brought down by number 81.
Holding.
Ryan Boyce.
Holding against Fitchburg High.
That's too bad. Nice play.
Fake me out.
I was not faked out on that one. Normally I am, but I did see that Toomley, and here's the replay, and don't see the holding on that shot.
Must have happened at the line of scrimmage.
Although they threw the flag down near where the reception was made. That's what misled me.
So it's going to bring up a second down. They got it at first and 9. I think it's going to be second and 9. I don't know. They got first down though. Confused. They gained out on a penalty? I don't know. Al Toomley, his son, gives it to Dustin LeBlanc. He gets big yardage down inside the 20-yard line.
So the penalty is moot.
We don't have to worry about that now, as Dustin LeBlanc very quickly, the old quick opener, gets it inside the 20-yard line. Big pickup for the Red Raiders. The defense that was so strong, first 2 series starting to break down a little bit now, and Fitchburg getting big yardage. And one thing that Jason Toomley can do, and it's something that North Middlesex is going to have to watch for, is he can throw. Strong arm for a sophomore. And we're going to see it right now. As he holds it, now he's going to take it himself. Jason Toomley in for a touchdown. Jason Toomley.
What a nice play by Jason, who, as you say, was looking to throw. The receivers were covered, but he had a big hole and made a nice move down on about the 5-yard line and carried it in. And Fitchburg has drawn first blood as they lead the Patriots of North Middlesex by a score of 6-0.
Jason Toomley, and I'm sure that the North Middlesex coaching staff is aware of it, is a little bit bigger than David Masciarelli and has a little bit stronger arm. And they've got to be careful of that as Zach Seacard kick is good, and Fitchburg High is out on top with 9:23 remaining in the second period by a score of 7-0.
And let's pick up for the first time tonight, Mr. Touchdown. Raiders draw first blood as Jason Toomley keeps it on a rollout, and Fitchburg goes up 6-0, and then the Seacard kick, and it is now 7-0 as Seacard gets ready to kick off to the Patriots. And once again, here's Luke.
Toomley on the sidelines getting congratulatory pats on the back from his teammates, and he put the Raiders up on top. And his Zach Seacard's kick, and it's a short kick, bounces at the 30-yard line, picked up there by number 45 of North Middlesex. That's Brian Bigwood, and he is smacked by number 41 for the Red Raiders, Ben Bedard, and driven out of bounds at about the 29-yard line, and that's where the Patriots will take over 1st and 10 on their own 29.
I believe it's going to be on the 34.
What's that?
34-yard line.
I'm sorry, what did I say, 29?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
It's the new
close.
math.
That was close.
New math.
Yep. Jastrab calling signals for the Patriots. Hand up the middle and smothered, no gain. As the entire Fitchburg High defense gets in on the play as Matt Janot, one of the captains of the Raiders, of the Patriots, gets, let's give him a yard and a half, maybe 2 yards on the play. It's going to bring up a 2nd and 8.
Get the feeling that the Raiders are kind of getting a rhythm now and getting into the game.
Janot behind Jastrab. Very close behind him.
Yeah.
As he holds it, pitches out to number 6. That's Bartleson, and he gets it across the 45-yard line up close to midfield. As Cordio and McDonald are in on the, Kyle Dodge are in on the stop for the Raiders. It's the first down for the Patriots, with the ball being spotted at just shy of the 49-yard line. Nice play by North Middlesex, and a good pickup for the first down. Jason Bartleson, just a sophomore. Jastrab calling signals. He keeps it, cuts up, stopped. Picked up maybe 3 on the play. Cordio in on the stop for the Raiders.
Very nice crowd on hand here tonight on both sides of the field. Once it is homecoming, and Fitchburg and North Middlesex, no matter what the records of the two teams are, although normally they're both pretty good, always draws a crowd because it's been quite a rivalry that has grown over the last maybe 10, 12 years.
2nd and 7 for the Patriots. Jastrab Loose ball. Looked like Keith Levitt is in on the pile. Let's see what happened. I think they're calling it a third down. They recovered it.
Remember years ago when North Middlesex started their football program, and they went 2 or 3 years before they won a single game. Times have changed.
Yeah, they've had some great teams in the 90s. Won several Super Bowls, and they've had some great seasons and some great games. I never forget that Super Bowl game down at WPI with the old towel play.
Yeah.
Jastrab caught in the backfield by Andy Roy and number 45, Andy LeBlanc. Andy LeBlanc and Andy Roy smother Jastrab in the backfield and back him up into his own territory at inside the 45-yard line. That was bring up 4th and long.
That was a great play, and Jastrab, of course, faked the handoff and had his back to the line of scrimmage, and then turned around to throw. And no sooner had turned around, and I'm sure, yikes. This is Ray Cosenza, head coach.
Yep. Kicks away down towards McDonald as it rolls down inside the 20-yard line, down close to the 15, inside the 15, down to about the 13-yard line before it's downed by North Middlesex, and Fitchburg's going to have a long march in front of them as they've got about 87 yards to go to hit pay dirt again.
Seeing that shot of Ray Cosenza, Pittsburgh High had two sport varsity coaches, and there's an animated conversation there. Ray Cosenza coaching, of course, football and also baseball. In the summer, decided to give up baseball. I'm not sure if a baseball coach has been named yet, but Tony Alario, who coached girls basketball and softball, has given up the basketball program.
A lot of changes up at Academy Street. Toomley hands it off up the middle. Is Dustin LeBlanc. A lot of daylight, gets it up across the 30-yard line up to about the 31. Pickup of about 18 on the play. It's going to be another first down for the Raiders, and they're getting them in big chunks now.
Yeah, they are. As we say, they look like they're warming up. Had some problems early in that first period, and a timeout is being called by North Middlesex. Just to complete the thought, Tony Alario giving up the girls basketball varsity coaching job, and just this week, Doug Rutchfield's son, Peter, has been named to that post, so he'll be coming back to the area. I don't know if they've named a baseball coach.
I don't think that they have, but I'm trying to think of, I've heard some rumors, and I wish I could remember.
Fred Sullivan.
No, Fred Sullivan, one of the great baseball player for the Red Raiders and for the Falcons.
I got the perfect guy.
Who's that?
He's looking for a job.
Okay,
Experience.
Mobon.
Mike Barnacle.
Mike Barnacle, yes.
Played for the Fitchburg High baseball
Yes,
team.
he did. We know that, and he knows that, but he won't tell anybody that. There's a couple of guys that look like they could be coaches. Right there.
Wow. There's a couple of guys that need coaching.
Need counseling. Okay, 5:21 remaining in the second period as Jason Toomley runs back onto the field. Big pickup by Dustin LeBlanc there before the timeout, about an 18-yard pickup. Ball is being spotted just outside the 30-yard line at about the 31. It's going to be a first down for the Raiders. Tommy Snow wide to the left. C-Card in motion. Here's Andy LeBlanc. Gets across the 35, and he's met there.
It's Andy LeBlanc brought down a nice tackle by Bigwood.
Number 45 in on the stop for the Patriots. That's Brian Bigwood, junior end.
2nd and 6.
4-yard pickup for Andy LeBlanc. It's going to be 2nd down and 6 as we're under the 5-minute mark here in the second period. 7-0, the Fitchburg High Red Raiders out on top of North Middlesex. Toomley gives it to Dustin LeBlanc, and there he goes, right up the middle. Cuts across midfield, across the 45, down into Patriot territory to the 42-yard line. Another big pickup by Dustin LeBlanc.
That was a nice play by Dustin, and it was number 81, Brian Boyes, who was on the ground for Middlesex and was able to reach out and trip him up as he went by. Otherwise, there would have been a lot more yardage and possibly 6.
Okay, 23 wide to the left. That's Dallas Heckel. Tommy Snow wide to the right. Dodge in motion. Toomey calling signals. Gives it to Andy LeBlanc. No, he fakes to him. Back, throws it. Complete to Dustin LeBlanc at the 35-yard line. Another good play by Jason Toomey as he was ready to be sacked, but he kept his ground and was able to dump it off to Dustin.
Boy, I was really impressed with that because he, as you say, he looked like he was about to go down. And a lot of times when you throw those passes in desperation, things bad happen.
Yeah.
And but that one was right on the money, and they're just shy of the first down.
B.J. Keenan brings him out of the huddle. Seacard wide left, Snow wide to the right. Andy LeBlanc and Frank McDonald in the backfield. This is Andy LeBlanc. He jumps over one Patriot and gets it down inside the 25-yard line, down to about the 22. It's another first down for Fitchburg High as they are moving this ball now at will and are threatening to win again as the ball is being spotted down at the 22. Here's the replay. Here's the hurdle. Nice run by LeBlanc. Toomey keeps it himself. Up the middle, down inside the 20. Carries a few tacklers down to about the 17-yard line.
He got a lot more yardage than he really should have. Just kept those legs churning and picks up about 4.
They come out of the huddle on that play and they get a quick snap. They don't let anybody get set on that quarterback sneak. And Toomey barrels his way down to the, I think they got it marked at about the 18-yard line. Going to be 2nd and a long 5. This is Dustin LeBlanc, gets it down to about the 15. They're going to spot it around the 16, so it's a pickup of about 3.
Nick Padden.
And it's going to bring up a 3rd and 4.
Down and above 4. Ball is at the 15-yard line.
Seacard coming out wide left along with Tom Snow, both on the same side. Both LeBlancs in the backfield. They pitch to Andy on the right side. He goes around the right side inside the 10. There goes Andy LeBlanc, and there's a flag. Flag on the field, and that's going to be against the Raiders.
Yeah, that'll be brought back. Nice play, but I'm sure there was a hold or a...
Nice run by Andy LeBlanc's going to be brought back. Holding.
Holding on the Raiders.
So a good run by Andy LeBlanc is going to go for naught as they're going to back it up about 10 yards. All the way back to the 23-yard line. So it's going to be 3rd and 10.
Well, that one hurts.
That hurt. It's actually 2nd down. Timeout being called. And the referee should be going over and letting that down marker guy know what down it is. They're signaling on the field 2nd, but it's still up there 3rd, and it's up on the scoreboard 3rd. So
down marker guy.
yeah, the down. What else would you call him?
I don't know.
Let's think about that.
Stick man.
The down stick man. Well, I mean, there's some guys that got the first.
That guy, I ran against him for school committee.
Dr. Robert Foley.
1977, I believe.
No kidding.
Yep.
Excellent dot play, you know.
He spent over $3 grand. I spent 114.
What do we call that? Where was I? Must have been back in, what year was that?
77, I believe. Yes, because I was, yes, 1977. Cy Baroni.
Wow. Quite a slate.
Yeah. I'm not sure if Mary Whitney was on at that point. It was fun. Wouldn't do it again.
No,
No.
wouldn't do it. Not going to do it.
Wouldn't be prudent.
Wouldn't be prudent. See both of his boys get in. Jeb, George.
Yeah.
Gonna win it. I'll be president someday. It's like the old man.
Barr's proud of them all.
Yeah. Barber up at Kennebunkport. Okay, Fitchburg High, 3rd and 10 as Andy Roy goes in motion. Truly calling signals. Here comes Ben Bedard. Pitch to Andy LeBlanc around the right side. Another hurdle and a great tackle, but he stays on his feet, gets down inside the 15-yard line. Another nice job by Andy LeBlanc.
Now, do they go for it here or maybe try a field goal?
No, they're going to call a timeout here. It's going to be 4th down. A field goal would be, let's see, 32-yard field goal. Capable, we know that. Here's the former chief, Bernie Roddy. Did you see that? Former
Where?
chief of police in Fitchburg, just on the screen, right there.
Really?
Yeah.
Sue Mahan right there. On
Sue Mahan,
left.
Attorney Mahan. Yeah.
Talking to her the other night, and she was happy to be playing in that Bruins game.
Oh yeah.
That you
on
did.
FATV. Yeah, that was a lot of fun. That was great, matter of fact. Yeah, when I'll tell you, the highlight of the evening, other than Sue Mahan playing, was Renee Rancourt singing the national anthem. I thought that was great. I don't think anybody can sing it quite like he can. I was waiting for the "O Canada," but he didn't sing it. He can really belt that one out. Going on down here with Buddy Rich's drums, but okay, a big 4th down and 3.5, 4 for the Raiders. Doomley calling signals. He gives it to Andy LeBlanc, who's tripped up, and I don't think he made it there. He stopped.
Yep, did not make it.
Minute and 22 seconds remaining here in the first half.
Still 7-0. Fitchburg scoring on a keeper by Jason Toomley, who was rolling out the pass. Receivers recovered and took it in himself. What's the length of that run?
20 yards. Okay, North Middlesex takes over at their own 15-yard line, and Jastrab hands off to number 32. That's Mike Janot. Matt Janot. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Picks up about 9 on the play. Looks like they're going to.
I don't know if
Gave
Jastrab.
the first down.
Yeah, they did. I don't know if Jastrab can throw it all, but this certainly would be a place where you would think that they would employ that.
Yeah, you would think they'd try to score here, but boy, you don't want one picked off down here. They hand it off once again. Another flag.
Brought down in the middle of the Raider defense. Led by Levitt. With the flag.
Something's noisy. Holding on North Middlesex. So that'll back the Patriots back a few yards.
Most, if not all, of the penalties called tonight have been offensive.
And they've been of the holding variety.
Yes.
That's a 10-yard penalty. Backs it up to back to the 15, 16-yard line. And it'll be 1st and about 20. With 50 seconds and running, and North Middlesex probably one play, and let's go talk about it. Jastrab right up the middle. Pickup of about 2 or 3 on the play. It's going to be 2nd and 18 or so. As we're under 20 seconds. Quick huddle by North Middlesex, and they spread their offense out. They may go upstairs here. Figure this might be the last play. Jastrab hands it off once again, keeps it himself. Tries to get around the corner, gets up to about the 25-yard line. As the clock continues to tick.
Could be it.
And that's it. That's going to be the end of the first half, with the Fitchburg High School Red Raiders on top of the Patriots from North Middlesex by a score of 7-0.
Well, a very defensive first half of play here, particularly that first quarter, as neither team moved the ball particularly well, but particularly the Patriots. But Fitchburg started to get it together, and then into the second quarter, they moved it downfield and pushed it across and got the conversion from Seacard. And you see Ray Cosenza there talking with the referee. There you see the band from North Middlesex. So we probably are going to have a rather extended halftime show here, as obviously both bands will play, and then of course it is Fitchburg's homecoming, so there'll be some sort of to do as far as that is concerned. Next week from tonight, we will be right back here at Crocker Field as Westboro comes to town. And that'll be the final game before the annual clash between Fitchburg and Leominster. And of course, this year it is right here at Crocker Field. See a lot of bands doing this. We're used to seeing bands march on the field in formation, and then I've seen 2 or 3 bands this year. They sort of just run out to wherever they're going and get ready. I think the Oakmont band, it was a couple of weeks ago up there. By the way, Oakmont has a terrific band.
Yeah, they do. We had it was a beautiful day, huh?
Oh, great day. And I was trying to count how many people they had in there, but they've got close to 100 people in their band.
Wow.
And they have a camp, a band camp prior to school opening. And in some instances, you got to, most schools, you show up, you're in.
You got to make the band.
But up there, you got to try out.
Gardner has the same thing. Gardner has a great band. They also have a band camp. I got a couple of nephews and a niece at the Gardner High band, and that's a big time band also.
Well, before we bring you this entertainment, we once again want to remind everybody the great underwriters who are bringing you this ball game.
Please sit back and enjoy the sounds of jazz while the North Middlesex Patriot Band takes you from New Orleans and the Mardi Gras.
FATV Sports presents Fitchburg Red Raider football. Brought to you by the volunteers of your community television stations and major funding from Workers Credit Union. There's no bank like us. And Cisco Systems, empowering the internet generation. And by underwriting support from the Byrne Insurance Agency, 150 Main Street, where all your insurance needs are met, auto, home, and business. Byrne Insurance, fulfilling promises made. And by the Masciarelli Family Funeral Homes, honoring the lives of local families for generations. And by Mr. G's Party Center Incorporated in the Twin City Mall, proud to be supporting schoolboy football. And by Sky Cycle, 402 Electric Avenue in Lunenburg, Suzuki, Kawasaki, and Yamaha Sales and Service. And by Slattery's Restaurant and Bar, 106 Lunenburg Street, now featuring live entertainment with the best of blues and jazz. And a special thank you to Local 3128 of the Fitchburg Permanent Firefighters Association.
While the Raider marching band comes on, I'd like to mention that the Fitchburg High School band is selling mugs over in the refreshment booth for $5. Commemorative mugs. If you're interested, $5 over at the refreshment stand. Also like to mention this is a very special day at Crocker Field. This is November 6th, 1998. And as Mayor Mary Whitney has announced to the public in general, this is Eric W. Johnson Day. We'd like to have a big hand for Eric W. Johnson. Thank you. Sponsoring a sale of Florida football, reaching this event of Pittsburgh High School. All radical, the gift box will only cost $5 or $2 for $8. So if you'd like to get a commemorative like that, come up to Clark and do that. We'll have to watch you. Instructor Patty Casey, percussion instructor Dave Sonia, cheerleading coach Gene Caddy, cheerleading captains Cheryl Agnesi, Angelbel Cologne, Chrissy Polish. Your drum major for this evening's show is Amy Daigle. Ladies and gentlemen, under the direction of Paul Maury, the Pittsburgh High School Red Raider Marching Band. Music from West Side Story.
fine halftime show provided by the bands of both Fitchburg High, and a very outstanding performance by the North Middlesex band, giving Oakmont a run for its money. They were very good.
Yeah, both of them were excellent. And the first time we've seen North Middlesex in a couple of years because, they only play here every other year. So, yeah, did a good job and really snazzied it up there. Jazz ensemble, good job. Both teams back on the field as we get ready for second half action. The Fitchburg High Red Raiders find themselves on top by the slimmest of margins, 7-0. The Fitchburg score came in the second period with 9:23 remaining as sophomore quarterback Jason Toomley, what would you say, he went back to pass and decided, I'll run it in myself, and he took it in from 20 yards out. Zach Seacard made the extra point, kicked the extra point, and that's where we are. Fitchburg High on top by a score of 7-0, and I believe they will be receiving here in the second half. Had to get things underway.
Actually, the halftime show was not as long as we anticipated. I guess most of the homecoming stuff they did prior to the game. Does anybody ever come home at homecoming? I mean,
you can never go home, Dave.
No.
You know that.
One thing I do enjoy, whenever it's not every game that we see both bands, the Fitchburg band and whoever they're playing. A lot of bands don't travel because of the cost, but when that does happen, the other band always sits right down in front and listens and pays attention very intently and is very generous with their cheers and applause afterwards. So
yeah, it's a mutual admiration society. They're a fraternity, and they sat right down here at on the track and watched the North Middlesex band did, and watched the Fitchburg High band perform, and I thought that was in good sportsmanship or good bandsmanship.
Good ship of some kind. Well, the ceremonial meeting again at midfield between the captains of both clubs. And as Luke mentioned, Fitchburg will probably be receiving here to open the half. You see the light has gone out on the steeple.
Yeah, I guess, last person out, shut the lights off, and I guess they've gone home for the day.
My guess is they have somebody watching the telecast over there, and once the steeple gets shown on TV, then they say, okay, let's go home. Flip the lights out.
If there is someone over there though watching, could you just flick the lights once to let us know that you are watching? If anyone is watching, just flick your lights real quick.
Once again, next Friday night, Luke and I and the entire FATV crew will be right back here at Crocker Field as Westboro comes to town. They are, apparently Luke telling me about 7-1, but they are a Division II school, and in some sports that doesn't mean much. Like a basketball or a sport that doesn't require large numbers, but when you've got a sport like football which requires numbers, then Division II, the difference between the divisions is a little bit more significant. But we'll see what happens.
And of course, their AD is a Fitchburg guy that
lives right up the street.
Yeah, he lives right up the street here, Billy Walsh. And we've got to protect those bragging rights here when we bump into him. So he beat us last year down there. So we've got to return the favor next Friday night here at Crocker Field.
Mike Kelly down there's got enough food to take him to halftime of next week's game.
Well, he's a growing boy.
Wow.
And of course, none of it is for us.
No. By the way, I did have a sausage
you did
before the game, and very, very good.
Very tasty.
I do recommend it.
Okay, we're about ready to start. The winning 50-50 raffle number is 559675. 559675. We'll announce it once or twice more. If you have that number, please come to the press box. We will give you the dough.
Fred Sullivan reading off the 50-50 raffle winner, which will probably be a considerable chunk tonight because, like you said, Dave, there's a fabulous crowd here. And now what Dave's going to do is he's going to bring you third period action here at Crocker Field.
All right, Luke, thank you very much. Kay Korolak, the kicker. Line drive right down the middle, down to about the 22-yard line. And Raiders bring it up to about the 32. Not sure who carried that.
That was
Number 2,
Oh, okay.
James Alexander.
James
return.
Alexander.
Brought down
Not to be confused with
59,
Jason Alexander.
Brought down by 59.
Yeah,
Steve
from
Craig.
Seinfeld.
Seinfeld.
Yeah.
George.
The ball is at the 33, first and 10 Raiders.
So it'll be 1st and 10 for the Raiders. They open up the second half leading 7-0. Jason Toomley, quarterback all night. Dave Masciarelli out with a hip pointer. Don't know if he'll be back next week or not. And there's a big hole for Andy LeBlanc, and he is going to take it all the way. 67 yards.
67 yards, Andy LeBlanc.
Quick burst off the right side, and once he got into the secondary, that was it. And just like that, with 24 seconds gone, here in the third quarter, Fitchburg has taken a 13-0 lead. 67-yard run.
Yeah, great run by LeBlanc, and apparently the Fitchburg coaching staff picked up something because I don't think anybody laid a hand on him.
Nope. And now here's see Andy. There's the kick, and a rare miss
Is wide.
for Zach Seacard, wide to the right. And it remains
The Raiders come back up
13 to
the field.
nothing.
It's
Red Raiders
nothing.
after just 24 seconds have gone by. Here
And
in
that
the
was
third
just
quarter.
what the doctor ordered, Dave, is get off, and they had that one touchdown by Andy LeBlanc called back there on a holding call in the second period that would have put them up at the time 13-0. So it's good to get that back, and the Red Raiders find themselves a little bit more comfortable. Still got plenty of time to go, naturally, but 13-0 certainly better than 7-0, as Andy LeBlanc just woke this crowd up after their nap from halftime with a great 67-yard touchdown run.
A lot of the fans hadn't even gotten back into their seats.
I told them all to get back. And
So-
as you said, a rare miss by Zach Seacott.
Yeah.
I don't think I can't recall one.
Didn't he have one blocked earlier in the season,
Yeah,
I think? But,
he may
but as
have.
far as missing one on his own, no. I couldn't really tell if the hold was there, but anyway, 13-zip. There's the kick. It's a squibber right up the middle, taken on the 28-yard line by Corey Wilson.
It's number 7.
And he gets it out to about the 38, so about a 10-yard return.
Down by
That'll be 1st and 10 for the Patriots, trailing 13-zip.
It'll be interesting to see how North Middlesex reacts to that
piled on.
big touchdown run by LeBlanc. They've played a great game defensively up until that play. Pittsburgh has had to really work hard for the yardage.
You see Andy Jastrab.
Yep.
1st and 10 from the 39-yard line, their own 39. Jastrab drops back. This will be his first attempt. No, it will not. His first attempt at an attempt. And he was sacked by Keith Levitt back on the 35-yard line. Actually, there was a play in the first half where he dropped back and turned around, and there were 2 Red Raiders defenders. So a couple of times he's had a notion to throw, but hasn't had the time to get either one of them off.
I'm not real familiar with the North Middlesex offense, but I don't think they do a lot of passing. Jastrab is not a big quarterback, and in the first half they didn't do any at all, and I guess they're just trying to do something.
2nd down, 14.
That's Matt Jeanette.
And Jeanette carries it to
Brought down by
back near the original line of scrimmage. And it'll be a 3rd and 10.
And Keith Levitt.
So they're calling Matt, his name is Jeanette. We've been,
Ball
that's
out
what it is,
the
32?
40-yard line.
Matt Jeanette.
Well, that's certainly On the roster, it's spelled Jeannotte. Maybe that O is supposed to be an E. Third down. And a long 9. Jastrab gonna keep it, and he's gonna be brought down shy of the 45-yard line, and it'll be a 4th down and a kicking situation for North Middlesex.
Good play by Justin LeBlanc to cut that off, as it looked like Jastrab was in line to pick up a few more than he did, but Dustin LeBlanc came up and made the stop, and that's going to force North Middlesex to punt here. The ball being spotted at the North Middlesex 43-yard line, 4th and about 6.
Kai Korolak gets the snap. It's a low one, but he gets the kick away. Nice kick. Coming down in the 30-yard line to McDonald. No, it's not McDonald either. It's Snow. Snow up over the 40 to the 43-yard line. Nice return by Tom Snow. The Raiders will have good field position. 1st and 10 on their own 44-yard line.
Tom Snow, always a threat to break one, and did a little dance in there, and it looked like he was going to get some yardage, but it was closed off pretty quickly and brought down at the 45-yard line. Fitchburg's going to take over there. 1st and 10. Just about 8 minutes to go here in the 3rd period.
We haven't seen a pass to Dallas Heckel down the sidelines tonight.
Okay.
We're not going to see it here either. Andy LeBlanc bounces off one tackle, gets a couple all on his own up over the 45 to about the 46, 7-yard line.
55 brings him down. Jess Willard. 2nd down and 8.
Very similar, really, off that right side is how he broke that long TD run there to start the second half, but this time pushed a little bit outside, away from the blocking, and as you said, Dave, picked those 2 tough yards up by himself. Not that much help.
2nd down. 8. Long 8. From the 46. Toomley gives to the first man through. That is Dustin LeBlanc. Brings it up to about the 49.
Could hear those shoulder pads cracking up here on that play. There was some hitting on that line of scrimmage, and Dustin LeBlanc, he just picks up a couple, so it's going to be 3rd and a long 6 for the Raiders. It's getting a little nippy.
Yeah, a little bit.
I think my old pal Kai is probably throwing another log on the fire up at Old Deerfield Road. He won't come out. Nice and toasty, I'm sure.
Toomley to pass. Throws it off on the right side to Heckel, and it's over his head.
Well, he had him. He had him open. Just threw it a little high, and that's going to force the Raiders to punt.
He does have a very strong arm.
Yeah, very strong, and like we say, just a sophomore. We're going to see a lot of Jason Toomley in the next couple of years.
There's the kick, a nice booming kick. Jeanette, I believe, on the 15. Got that. That's Jeanette Cruikshank, and he is very nicely covered by the Raider defense.
Well, Fitchburg hasn't done a lot of punting this year, and I think even Zach Seacott will tell you it's probably not their strong suit, but that was a beauty, and as you say, Dave, well covered down to the 20-yard line, and so North Middlesex with 80 yards to march.
They had a pretty good wind behind that kick. Flag is waving rather briskly. 1st and 10. Jastrab. And nowhere.
That's number 34.
Keith Levitt.
Tim Beausoleil.
Remember Gary Beausoleil?
Sure do.
I wonder how that guy is doing. He went down and he became a writer down at
really?
Yeah, down in Boston. One of the news writers.
Former newsman at WEIM.
Yeah, Gary Beausoleil. If you're out there, Gary, call home.
Yep. And Good yardage there by Jastrab. It's going to be short of the first down by about a yard.
He's quick. Jastrab is quick, but I think he got injured a couple of games ago, and I heard someone talking before the game that although he's playing, he really isn't 100%. And you know, we don't get to see North Middlesex at all, except for the game they play Fitchburg. He's had a heck of a career over there at North Middlesex.
Didn't get as much as I thought he had. He's 3 yards short, and he is going to be short of the first down this time as well.
Andy Roy on the stop.
And Dustin LeBlanc. And Andy Roy.
Saw Steve Desiderio's sister-in-law on TV the other day.
Yeah, one of my favorites.
Judith Light.
Yep. I wonder with Steve Desiderio, I thought he was doing traffic in Manhattan or something, I heard. Oh, really? Seriously? Well, let's go up to Sky I-4 and Steve Desiderio. I just can't imagine.
No, I can't either.
No, because he'd be eating. And then...
Fourth down, and a kicking situation here. Good snap. And he slips and falls, and the kick is not going to be returned, and it's going to roll dead on the 46-yard line.
Whoops.
Wow.
And that almost ran up Dallas Heckle's back. He had to run away from that ball as it was bouncing wildly there, and the coaching staff was telling him to run the other way, and he had to. So we're under 4.5 minutes remaining here in the third period. The Red Raiders on top by a score of 13-0. They have the ball 1st and 10 on their own 45-yard line.
Good field position. Tumley wants to throw, and he was trying to hit Snow, cutting across the middle, and he led him just a little bit too much.
And he had him again, too. The numbers were looking him right. There was no way anybody could touch that ball, but again, just a little bit off the mark. But again, a strong arm and a nice play call by the Raiders. Just couldn't hook up.
Second down and 10. Ball just over the 45-yard line. 4:23 to go here in the third quarter. Fitchburg on top 13-0. And there's another big hole. And no, it's a fake, and with it is Tumley. He's got the first down and then some. That one I was faked out on.
Showing some speed too, Dave, and some moves as he, similar to the play that he scored on, doesn't see that man open, and he just takes a lane, and down the field he goes.
Nice fake to Andy LeBlanc, and then he just takes it on the naked bootleg going around, and we're going to see a replay on this.
You'll see some good speed by Tumley also.
And live action here. Andy LeBlanc has it. He's going down inside the 10-yard line.
Andy LeBlanc able to cut the corner and got it down inside or right at the 10-yard line. I don't know if it's going to be 1st and goal or not, but
just shy of the 10. So it looks like, yep, just shy of the 10. So it'll be 1st and 10. They can get a first down without a touchdown. B.J. Keenan leads at center, leads team out of the huddle. Jason Tumley. Rolling, looking into the end zone. He's got a man wide open, touchdown. We'll call it an 11-yard pass play from Jason Tumley to Andy Roy. And the Raiders have increased their lead to 19-0. Wide open.
Well, we're seeing a little wrinkle in their offense too. We're seeing some different plays, and I'm sure they're structured around the capabilities of Toomley, who can throw. He's gone back a couple of times to pass and has tucked it in and ran, but he had Andy Roy just totally wide open on that one. And
well, North Middlesex has called a timeout because Fitchburg came out to go for the two-pointer to make it a 21-0 game, and I don't think Middlesex was prepared for that. So
well, that's a good move too, because it takes a timeout away from them.
Sure.
In case they might need it later in the ball game. Don't want to be jinxing anybody, but Fitchburg High's got to feel pretty good about themselves, leading 19-0 in their 9th ball game of the year, and with the opportunity now of getting ever more and more apparent that they could go into Thanksgiving undefeated. Freddie Sullivan told me if they did, he wants to talk to me because he wants to tell me about the 33 team that apparently was undefeated at Crocker Field going into play. I don't know what the results are. I have to wait now. They've got to win tonight and at Westboro because Freddie keeps things to himself.
Now, was that the game that was played at 33, or was the class of 33?
I don't get you. Let's not get any finite details into this now.
Well, if it was 30,
that would be the class of 34, the game in 33. I think.
Then it would have been down in Le Munster.
Okay.
Anyway, the Red Raiders are going to go for the two-point conversion. McDonald is in the backfield. He starts in motion. Dustin LeBlanc the other. Toomley rolling to the left. He's going to try to keep it himself, and I don't believe he made it. He did not. So the two-point conversion goes for naught, and the score remains Fitchburg 19, North Middlesex nothing, with 3:39 to go here in the third quarter. Some of the young fans. To beat a dead horse, but a real terrific crowd on hand here tonight. The covered stands are virtually full. Sections, all the sections all the way down to in front of us, section 8, and all the way down to the left. Pretty much full as well. So,
yeah, great.
By far the largest crowd so far this year.
Yeah.
And on the other side of the field, of course, very fine contingent from Patriot Land. All right, the Raiders will be kicking off to the Patriots, leading 19-0. As Seacard gets set to kick, he does. It's a short boot coming down on the 35-yard line, and it's knocked out of bounds by a Pittsburgh player. Saul Seacard.
Yeah, and if he can pick that up as it bounced, it would have been in good shape. But he knocked it out of bounds, and so North Middlesex will take over. We're talking about it, but I don't know if you noticed at the end of the first half, the Fitchburg High coaching staff played some considerable
offside against Fitchburg.
Yeah. Coaching staff spent some considerable time with the referees. There was a couple of calls that they wanted explained to them.
If I'm North Middlesex, I would think you'd want to take it right here.
Oh, sure.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what they got to do. They'll have it 1st and 10 on the 35-yard line. North Middlesex has had decent field position throughout this game, but they just haven't been able to move it. They have never threatened to score. As the Fitchburg defense has again played another strong game. Andy Jestrap, the quarterback, trying to get his club going, trailing 19-0. And Jastrap's going to keep it. He picks up about 5 after the fake handoff. Went off right tackle.
Jastrap brought down by
Jastrap does a nice job with the faking it and then keeping it. Really knows how to carry out that fake, and he's a big part of that offense. It's just that he hasn't got a whole lot of help tonight.
Jastrap hands off and getting nowhere.
Up in the middle. Stopped by Jeremy Saucier and Josh Cardio, along with Dustin LeBlanc.
Matt Jeanette carrying that time.
3rd and 5.
No gain, 3rd down and 5. Clock continues to tick, 2:35 to go in the 3rd quarter. 19-0, Fitchburg over North Middlesex. Jastrap has trouble finding the handle, and he's going to lose about 3 or 4 yards. And it'll be a 4th down and another kicking situation for the Patriots.
4th and 8.
Little mix-up again on the handoff, on the exchange with the center, and Levitt and Andy LeBlanc swamped in on the play, and that's going to put him back a couple of more yards, and going to force the Patriots to punt away here as Tommy Snow stands deep for the Raiders.
Good snap, good kick, down on the 37-yard line, but it takes a bounce, and it'll be blown dead. Smack dab on the 30-yard line of the Raiders, where they'll take over 1st and 10. Any indication as to how long Mazzarelli will be out?
I talked to Al Toomley, the trainer, before the game. He told me it was day to day. He got whacked in the hip. He's being worked on and rehabbed by some of the Patriots trainers, put him on a program. And also, I guess he got a little bit out of alignment when he got hit, so he's been seeing a chiropractor. But it's a day-to-day thing, and hopefully he'll be back next Friday night.
Well, nice job tonight by Jason Toomley. Handoff and carrying for a couple of yards is Dustin LeBlanc.
Well, this game started off, Dave. It looked, North Middlesex is coming in with a not so good of a record, but they're tough. And Fitchburg, to their credit, just, pounded it out. And I think the coaches saw some things, and it's been a real, team and coach effort here. That's the way I look at it tonight. They adjusted
2nd
well.
down. And nowhere there. Again, it was Dustin LeBlanc. That may be a yard.
Under a minute to go here in the 3rd period. As I think you will see Fitchburg really try to use some clock management now and keep it ticking to get themselves into the 4th period with a big 19-point lead.
Ben Bedard came into the game with a play, and he is now split wide left along with Snow. 3rd down and 7. Pitch. Andy LeBlanc has to go back for it. Still manages to pick up a little yardage, but not enough. Not a good pitch at all by Toomley.
Sam Babbitt.
No, very similar to that pitch in the 1st period that didn't work out that well.
And a timeout being called by the Red Raiders.
Timeout on the field. There's 12 seconds remaining here in the 3rd period. It's a 4th down situation for Fitchburg with the ball at the 37-yard line of Fitchburg. And looks like that's the end of the end of the 3rd period.
Indeed it is. 19-0. Fitchburg High Red Raiders leading North Middlesex as we get ready for the final 11 minutes of play. doing a little transaction here, folks. Buying, we don't have to stop at the refreshment stand to pick up Fitchburg High commemorative mug, because they're hawking them in the stands here. Very nice. Picture of Fitchburg High, the present building, says 1936. And on the other side, architect's drawing of the new high school, Fitchburg High School 2000. Yeah, there we go. Now all we need is something to put in them.
Partially blocked.
Well, we missed that punt, I guess, and as we're purchasing our Dennis Cucciara coffee mugs that are benefiting, or tea mugs, or cocoa mugs, whatever, and they benefit the Fitchburg High band. So the next time you down at Crocker Field, get yourself a nice coffee mug for just $5. Pretty
Use
good.
it as a shaving mug.
Yeah. Okay.
Final 11 minutes of football here from Crocker Field, and here to bring it to you is Luke Connery.
Thanks, Davey. Jastrab hands off to number 23. That's Mark Enricolo.
Number 23, Mark Ericola.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Okay, Fred.
Ericola. Heckle makes the stop, a pickup of almost 8 on the play. Let's make it second down and very long, well, 7-yard pickup, make it 2nd and 3. North Middlesex trying to get on the scoreboard here in the fourth quarter. Jastrab hands it off to Riccolo again, and he gets close to the first down. I don't think he made it. It's going to bring up a third, probably half a yard. They're going to measure. This is going to be a close one, Dave. What do you think here?
Oh, I think you have no choice but to go for it.
No, do you think he made the first down or not?
Oh.
Yeah. Try to pay attention, Dave.
Yeah, I was checking out my mug.
Oh, okay. And looks like he got it. First down for the Patriots. The ball being spotted at the Fitchburg 30. Let's mark it at the 37-yard line. As the clock begins to tick. And we're under 10 minutes remaining here in the ball game. Fitchburg on top by a score of 19-0. Andy Jastrab, number 4, brings him out for the Patriots. Quick up the middle to number 24. That's Sean Babbitt, or Sam Babbitt.
Left down by Josh Claudio. 2nd and 3.
Or was that Beausoleil?
I thought it was
24 or 34?
I thought it was Jastrab. I thought the fake was.
No, I don't know. I think he handed it off, but okay. 2nd and 3. And they're getting big yards now. That's number 23, Aricolo. And he picks up the first down inside the Fitchburg High 25-yard line. They're going to spot it at about the 22. And it's going to be a 1st and 10 as North Middlesex mounting a late charge here in the fourth period.
Still plenty of time.
Oh, yeah. Okay, and a flag, and that's going to be either a delay of the game or illegal procedure.
Yeah, I think it's a procedure call. They look like they were all messed up.
Procedure is the call against North Middlesex. That'll back it up to the 27-yard line. It's going to be 1st and 15. Everybody's sticking around, though. I don't see anybody heading for the exits yet. Jastrab pitches back to Aricolo, and he's swamped right there. Frank McDonald in on the stop for 1. Keith Levitt, number 73, is that Saucier, also in on the stop.
What do Ricola and Fred Larson have in common?
They got 2 R's in their names. I don't know what.
Number 23.
Okay, that's right. Fred was number 23. Class of 61, I believe.
Yep.
Isn't he? Yep. Second down, back to throw. Batted in the air, and it's incomplete. I don't know who got his hand on it, but I wouldn't be surprised if it wasn't number 75.
Fred Larson's probably got more mention tonight than he's gotten his entire career.
Jim Chalmers never talked about him. Well, we're just trying to respond to our fan mail.
Yeah.
You know, keep those cards and letters coming in.
Middlesex.
Just address them to FATV on South Street in Fitchburg, and we'll say just about anything.
Sure. Matter of fact, if you enclose a crisp 20, we will say anything.
Oh yeah, we'll put pictures on of you. Yeah. Got to pay for these mugs.
Yeah.
Well, what do we got here? 7:48 remaining in the fourth period. It's Fitchburg 19, North Middlesex nothing. Timeout on the field. It's 3rd and 14.
Yep.
And
0 for 2 right there.
there's 2 free agents, I'll tell you. So what do you think? Mo gone or what?
Yeah, Mo's gone.
Mo's gone?
I think so.
Okay. I don't think he is. I think he's going to stay. I think he's going to stay for less money. They're going to give him the 5-year guaranteed. And the only problem is next June he'll weigh 400 pounds. There's Tommy Shea. He's the guy that gets all the credit for Palace. Does a great job here at Fitchburg High.
He's only about the 3rd groundskeeper here at Crocker Field in the last 40 to 50 years.
I know, really. You're right. Okay, let's set it up for you here. It's 3rd down and let's call it 14 or 15 for North Middlesex. Ball is at the Fitchburg 27-yard line. Jastrab wide to the right, try to cut it, and there he goes. And there's a flag. And they're going to bring this back.
There is a flag on the field.
They're going to bring this back.
Yeah. There was a reason that hole was that big.
They're going to bring it back, and this will not make North Middlesex happy at all, as holding is called. Offensive holding on North Middlesex.
Well, head coach John Margarita for North Middlesex not liking what he's seeing here tonight.
You got a little look at the speed of Andy Jastrab on that play as he saw an open lane cut up field, and he actually went in untouched. But it's brought back, and it's going to be 3rd down and 20 for North Middlesex. Jastrab going around the left side, going to cut it up again, but this time he's tripped up after picking up about 10 on the play. But it's going to bring up a 4th down for North Middlesex at about the 23-yard line of Fitchburg, as North Middlesex calls another timeout.
Of course, they're in a situation now where they've got to go for it, and trailing 19-0, and of course just over 7 minutes, 7:11 unofficially to go in the game, and of course the field position has something to do with it too. They're down on the 23-yard line of Fitchburg, so it's not a question of whether they'll go, it's a question of what they will do when they go.
Going to be back here next Friday night as the Westboro High School Rangers come into Crocker Field to take on the Fitchburg High Red Raiders. Last year, as you recall, there was a big storm before the Westboro game. I went down to Westboro for that game, and the field was not in very good shape. They didn't have a whole lot of time to prepare for it. It was an overnight storm, and it was played under just miserable conditions. And Westboro was victorious. I believe it was either 6-0 or 7-0 or 8-0, something like that. So there's a little bit of a revenge factor. And of course, that was one of the losses that Fitchburg had on the road. They just couldn't win on the road. Here's Jack Murray.
Fitchburg State hockey team kicks off their season tonight. They're in a tournament down in Worcester.
Well, good luck to the Dean of Frozen Ponds.
Yep. I'm going to catch some of those games this year. I went to one last year towards the end of the year, and I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Oh, yeah, they're very good. Fitchburg High School Falcons. Fitchburg State College Falcons, I should say. Jastrab to the end zone, intercepted. Intercepted by number 32, that's Saul Seacard.
Well, now we know why North Middlesex doesn't throw.
It was underthrown, and it was thrown right to Saul Seacard, and he held on and ran it back up to about looks like the 14 or 15 yard line. The tip of the ball is right on the 15, and Fitchburg is going to take over. 1st and 10, just under 7 minutes remaining here in the 4th period. Okay, here's Heckel wide to the left, Tom Snow wide to the right. The LeBlancs in the backfield behind quarterback Jason Toomley. And they give it to Dustin, first man through, and he is stopped actually behind the line of scrimmage and lost probably a yard on the play. That'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
2nd down and 11.
This time it's B.J. Keenan bringing him out, and Seacard and Snow go wide right. Toomley gives it to Andy LeBlanc. He tries to cut it up the middle, picks up about 5 on the play. It's going to be 3rd and 5. Maybe
LeBlanc tripped up
picked up about 6.
Ryan Bagwood. Bigwood.
3rd and 5. Fitchburg would like to get a couple of first downs here strung together and work on that clock as we're under the 6-minute mark. B.J. Keenan trying to get out of that huddle, and Toomey wouldn't let him. Now you're going to get delay a game. Sure.
Delay game.
Not really a good penalty to be taken in that part of the football field. You're down, in the 10, 15 yard range, and you're trying to keep that clock moving. So let's try it again. Ben Bedard wide to the left. Now he's going to go over on the other side. I can see the super screen here. Nope. Andy LeBlanc. Oh, there it is. Straight to Andy Roy. Andy Roy across midfield into North Middlesex territory. So another great fake by Toomley. And Andy Roy wide open, and he hooked up with him.
And whereas earlier a couple of passes were overthrown, that one was a little bit underthrown. He had to wait for it. Andy did. And but he still picks up a great gain down into North Middlesex territory, down to the 47-yard line. Nice play.
Well, that gives the Raiders plenty of breathing room now, and we're under 5 minutes remaining here in the ball game as Jason Toomley has come in to do a great job replacing the senior captain quarterback David Masciarelli here this evening against North Middlesex. That's Andy LeBlanc getting no gain on the play.
Brought down by number 66, Sean Allen.
Sean Allen, just a sophomore, make the stop on Andy as Zach Seacard comes in with the play for Toomley. Guard wide to the right, Snow wide left. Both of LeBlanc still in the backfield. Kyle Dodge in motion. Back to pass again is Toomey. He's going to run it. He goes down the left side, getting good yardage, cuts it upfield. Nice run by Jason Toomey inside the 20 down to about the 15-yard line.
Very impressed with Mr. Toomey tonight. He was rolling to the left. He was trying to go to Tom Snow, but he was very well covered, so Jason took it himself, and just a great play. Brings it down to the 15-yard line.
He's got some good moves when he's running. I mean, he's looking for holes and lanes, and he's moving towards them. And you know, a lot of times, you know, quarterbacks will just run it out of bounds, and he's cutting it upfield. Very impressive performance by the sophomore tonight. Here's Andy LeBlanc on a pitch to the wide right, trying to get around the corner, and he just can't quite get around the corner, but he gets it down close to the 5-yard line. To see where they spot it. They're going to spot it about the 7.
Leominster playing tonight, or is it?
Leominster's playing Milford, I think.
Yeah. Milford.
Second and 1. Ball is on about the 6-yard line.
Second down and 1. Ball's being spotted at 6 or 7-yard line. Toomey calling signals. Gives it to Andy LeBlanc, second man through, and he picks up close to the first down. Let's see where the spot is once again. He was right on that 5-yard line. Pushed back a little bit, and he's going to be just a little bit short.
As we approach 3 minutes to go in the game, Raiders trying to add one more touchdown. They lead 19-0.
Third and literally inches, and Toomey keeps it, and he's got it. He's pushing him down close to the, very close to the goal line. They almost pushed him in. Good line surge by the Fitchburg High offensive line, and he gets down to about the 2-yard line.
I'm glad I'm not sitting on the other side of the field here. That wind is all night long has been heading right towards those far stands, the Clarence Amiot stands.
Okay, first and goal now at the 2-yard line. Andy LeBlanc, and there's Dustin for the touchdown.
So that makes it 25-zip, as you see, and Raiders are going to go for the single point conversion here.
Not surprised that Fitchburg High has beaten North Middlesex tonight. I am surprised, though, that they've shut them out. North Middlesex plays as tough a high school football schedule as anyone in the state. You know, they'll play the Brocktons, and they'll go up and play the teams on the North Shore. Is Zach Seacart's kick. It's good. And I'm surprised that they haven't been able to score here on the Raiders tonight.
Two minutes, 11 seconds to go in the game, and that sends many of the fans to the exit.
Time to mosey on out. Well, they've been watching their team hasn't been home in a month, and they come back and they, without missing a beat, they show them the same things that they showed them early in the season at home, and it's a very impressive performance both offensively and defensively by Fitchburg High tonight, and they're going to go to 9-0.
Yep.
Actually have a chance to go 12-0, and probably something no other Fitchburg High team has done.
I'm sure they haven't, because Super Bowl's only been around since '72, and there just haven't been an opportunity to play 12 games in a season.
Right.
I really would like to see. Of course, there's all kinds of controversy surrounding realignment.
Oh yeah.
I tell you that MIAA, unbelievable.
Little chip shot by Seacard, taken by one of the up men. That's number 40. And Ed Reynolds for North Middlesex, and tackled on the play by Dallas Heckel. And North Middlesex will take over 1st and 10, ball being spotted at their own 42-yard line. We're under 2 minutes to go here in the 4th period. Fitchburg on top by a score of 26-0.
I don't know how you feel about it, but there are far too many Super Bowls. It seems like every.
Oh yeah.
It doesn't mean anything anymore.
Brockton's in the big, what they call the big three, and they're about 500. They could make it.
Yep.
It's number 23 for Auricolo. He's a senior captain. I wish I was saying his name right. I'm sure someone from Townsend or Pepperell's going to hear this and say, wow, where is this guy from? But it goes Dr. Robert Foley, and it looks like he's very, very, very cold.
Yep. Well, he's not getting any younger.
No, he's not.
And Superintendent of Schools Phil Fallon down in front of us, sitting all by himself.
Yeah. Yeah. First down for North Middlesex as they get it into Fitchburg High territory. Keith Levitt coming out of the game, or coming over for defensive instructions. He's coming off big hug from Chris Canning, his coach DiGeronimo. It's a great win for Fitchburg High tonight. They're happy. Under a minute to go here in the ball game. Got a new quarterback in there, and number 3, Kai Kurlak, is the quarterback for North Middlesex right now. Alexander on the stop. Comes off holding his elbow with a little.
This could be the final play of the game. Clock continues to run, under 20 seconds. May not even get this one off.
They may not even get it off. Well, I guess they will. 45-yard line, 2nd and about 17. Kurlak hands it off to number 6. That's Jason Bartleson. And that's going to do it. That's the ball game. The Fitchburg High School Red Raiders go to 9-0 with a very impressive 26-0 victory over North Middlesex.
Indeed, it was impressive. A slow start by both clubs. Very defensive in the early going in the opening quarter of play. But then towards the end of that first quarter, Fitchburg started to get it together and started moving the ball, and then in the second quarter scored their first touchdown. And they led only 7-0 at halftime, and it was still anybody's ball game. But then just 24 seconds into the second half, 62 or 67-yard 67-yard run on the very first offensive play by Andy LeBlanc, and that made it 13-0. And the kick was wide to the right, one of the few misses. Zach Seacard this year. And then at the 3:39 mark, an 11-yard touchdown pass, Toomley to Andy Roy, 19-0. They went for 2, didn't get it. And then scoring closed out in the 4th, a 2-yard run by Justin LeBlanc, 25-0. And here's the Fitchburg High alma mater. football players. And down to our left, at the 25, 30-yard line, Coach John Margarita having a kind of a quiet meeting with his losing club here tonight. But that's it. The Red Raiders, as Luke says, go to 9-0, and we'll be back here next Friday night.
Look forward to it.
As Westboro comes to town. That's it. Final score for the final time. It is Fitchburg 26, North Middlesex nothing. For Luke Connery, I'm Dave Svens, and for the entire FATV crew, good night, everybody, from Crocker Field.
Brought to you by the volunteers of your community television stations. And major funding from Workers Credit Union. There's no bank like us. And Cisco Systems, empowering the internet generation. And by underwriting support from the Byrne Insurance Agency, 150 Main Street, where all your insurance needs are met, auto, home, and business. Byrne Insurance, fulfilling promises made. And by the Masciarelli Family Funeral Homes, honoring the lives of local families for generations. And by Mr. G's Party Center Incorporated in the Twin City Mall, proud to be supporting schoolboy football. And by Sky Cycle, 402 Electric Avenue in Lunenburg, Suzuki, Kawasaki, and Yamaha Sales and Service. And by Slattery's Restaurant and Bar, 106 Lunenburg Street, now featuring live entertainment with the best of blues and jazz. And a special thank you to Local 3128 of the Fitchburg Permanent Firefighters Association.